Previously on the Talos Principle 2. 1K arrives in the wetlands. After meeting with Pandora, who is less than welcoming towards the synthetic.
Hey there, 1K.
Tell me about New Alexandria.
We made two fatal mistakes in New Alexandria. One was trusting the texts of our ancestors without thinking for ourselves. The other was giving up instead of doubling down, letting the tragedy define our future.
What do you make of Pandora?
It's clear that there's some kind of antagonistic force in this place, something that doesn't want us to discover the purpose of the megastructure. Perhaps that's part of the testing. Or perhaps it's what's responsible for this state of decay.
What is the symbolic value of these entities we're encountering?
That's a good question. Prometheus is often taken to represent freedom and progress, the ideals of the radical enlightenment. Pandora, on the other hand, usually represents the dangers of those very ideals, so they're counterparts, in a way. And the Sphinx is a mystery. Does that mean that these entities correspond to these concepts? Perhaps. They certainly seem to act like it. But Athena isn't the goddess of Athens, and I'm not Robert Byron, although those are the origins of our names. Where does myth end and history begin? We'll have to find out.
That's all.
Just when I thought we'd found all the weird stuff.
So, humanity is great. I really believe that, and that's why I'm here. But I have to be honest with you, individual people, not always my favorite. I'm not the smartest guy ever, and I know that. But there are some people, some people are just so dumb. I don't even know if they're actually conscious. Sometimes I think their whole lives might be like a dream. They're just stumbling around, no idea what's going on, mumbling some random nonsense. And the thing you have to understand about our time period is that a lot of these people wield enormous power. They run whole countries and corporations. Yeah, that's right. We've handed over our civilization to people I wouldn't trust to tie their own shoelaces. And if they're dumb, then what are we? I don't honestly have an answer to that, so just please try to do better.
What are we? Or rather, what were you? Simple. Those that clear up the mess of those that don't want to admit they have it. And yes, this inverter could clearly turns red to blue and blue to red.
I think about New Alexandria all the time. But realizing this place was built on its bones just brings it all back even more. We were so optimistic when we started. So full of ourselves. We thought we could accomplish anything. And then, in one single moment, it was all gone. I remember a flash, and then just lying there, realizing that my legs had melted. I tried to pull myself away from the fire, but the servos in my arms were broken. If Eustathius hadn't found me, sorry. Just some old scars.
Okay, that was more information.
When we go to New Jerusalem, I'm going to have a cat. He's going to be black and white, and his name is going to be Bean. And I'm going to make sure that he never gets sick, and he never gets old, and he'll be my best friend forever.
Well, whoever Miranda was, she was clearly aware of New Jerusalem. And seeing a vision of the organic human world that no longer exists.
What can I do for you, 1K?
What do you make of Pandora?
It's pretty clear to me that she doesn't want us to proceed with what we're doing. I find that deeply concerning. That said, there are clearly other forces at play here as well, so I'm trying my best to remain open to a more positive interpretation.
It could be a test.
It could be. Or we've just stumbled into something that's none of our business. We'll find out, I guess.
That's all. Right. What's next for the inversion-themed puzzles? Get a red and a blue beam over here. certainly is a red beam. Huh? And that will sustain the way open here. Yes, my voice pack needs debugging.
When we go to New Japan, This is clearly a map of some kind. Where it's... looks like it's something near the station that I arrived at in these wetlands. Well, it's something to think about for later. As for the clue for other of these less obvious puzzles, perhaps it's a target and it needs to be hit by something. It would at least explain the connectors that are seemingly out of place. I need one that mixes the colours. And there's one. The only problem is how to get to it. I have an idea of how to get to it. On second thoughts, maybe not. That could work, it just needs to be a bit closer to where I need it. Because I need both there if I want to actually utilize it where it matters.
So either one of those receptors, if powered, will keep the way open. No, there's nothing outside that would actually help. Well, at least there's nothing explosive in these tests, although that might change. Some of these are clearly harder to figure out than others. Let's see what's in this. See what we have here. Yes, let's start with that. Complicates matters. Need to set this up in advance. Because while the barrier prevents barrier prevents beams from going through, that purple field does not. Right, yes. Also, yes, the bars don't prevent. Well, they prevent beams from going through, so that's not going to work either. However, that can work. I'm not sure, but looking more. Oh. Right. Fifth one is in this direction. And there's something optional, so let's do that next. I'll definitely need a driller. Ah, and there's one. Although I also need... to set this up. Oh, it looks like I'll need to have both a red and a blue. If I want to have any chance of, well, completing the puzzle. It's time to make a hole in the wall. And somehow find a way of getting the red and the blue beam to where it's needed. I need to have some force regarding this.
I sent the drone to have a look at one of the other puzzle clusters. It seems they remain inert until they're connected. I uploaded the pictures to the log.
Should we check them out with the VTOL?
Let's conserve fuel as much as we can. There's no point in going there if it's all dead.
Yeah. Best not invest in something more than you have to. Besides, we're not done here yet. The power for the bridge is incomplete. Ah. Let's see what's in here.
The rotting remains of the old world should fill me with melancholy. Even here on this remote island, our ancestors could not escape their fate. And yet, I find there is something pathetic about these ruins that evokes anger and even contempt. I feel it is a mistake to accept this catastrophe with equanimity. What we see here should offend us. When witnessing this triumph of entropy, we should aspire to a warrior spirit, even a kind of hate of the past and its failures that will never allow such a thing to happen again.
And if they make the same mistake over and over again, it's nothing short of deliberate, isn't it?
Every site we've investigated has had one of these labs, but they seem primitive compared to some of the technology we're seeing above ground.
Are we even sure that the labs and the puzzles belong to the same people?
There seems to be a connection between the experimental setups in the labs and some of the puzzle technology.
Correlation does not necessarily imply causation, though.
True. But just because we don't understand the connection, that doesn't mean it's not there. What we have here is two things that reflect each other. We just don't understand how that reflection works or what causes it.
Maybe Miranda can tell us.
It's likely a prototype. Ah. Magnetism? Yes, that's likely a puzzle that will appear later. Well, it's unlikely to appear where we are now. No other schematics that we can find here. Yes, the reason why it's more primitive than what's out here is because these lost labs reflect the prototypes of what would eventually be created. Yep. Right. So that switch moves between one and the other. And I need to set this up in advance. Yes, and I need to find a way of getting a blue beam over there. Easier said than done, considering that anything on this side will be cut off when I flip the switch. And I need to flip the switch to deactivate one of the barriers while activating another. Yes. Why do I get the feeling that I'm missing something? Yes, I am missing something. It would work better if that blue beam was not cut off. No, that's not going to work.
That was an excellent solution.
Yeah, sorry that it took so long for me to actually figure it out. You know, this would be quicker if you actually helped, but clearly that's my job. To do things too menial for everyone else.
What is it?
Tell me about New Alexandria.
New Alexandria. What a mess. It was an attempt to start a new city, but it went about as sideways as it goes. Gas explosion, more than 30 dead, unrecoverable. Al was there for the whole thing.
But why would so much tech from New Alexandria be here?
Because the whole place was abandoned. Byron insisted that we had to rebuild, but for the survivors, it was just too traumatic to deal with. So I guess that stuff was just lying around for someone to pick up.
I hear you're a big fan of Yakut's cat.
Listen, one day that furry little demon is going to pee on the wrong cable and all of New Jerusalem will just turn off. Forget about the megastructure. He's the biggest threat to our security.
That's all. How interesting. But it's likely more to it than that. Until next time. Hail the rabbit!